Just a few miles south from the center of Mexico City lies La Isla de las Mucas, the island of the dolls. The island is filled with hundreds, possibly thousands of hanging, decomposing, and decapitated dolls, creating a macabre spectacle. The exact number of decaying dolls remains unknown, but the story of how the island came to be overrun with these eerie figures is far more intriguing. According to legend, it all began with a tragic discovery. The island's sole inhabitant, Don Julián Santana Barrera, found the corpse of a drowned girl along with her doll. Stricken by the fear of the girl's vengeful spirit, he hung the doll as a form of offering.
In the 1950s, Don Julián Santana Barrera left his family behind to live alone on a small piece of land on Techuilo Lake. Little did he know, his solitary life would soon take a dark and eerie turn. As the island's new caretaker, he sometimes traveled to the nearby barrio de la Asunción to sell his vegetables and savor the local pulque, a popular drink made from agave sap. However, his growing superstitions led Don Julián to preach the Bible around town. This behavior eventually got him expelled from the community, leaving him to remain on his island. One day, he discovered the body of a drowned girl and her doll. Superstitious and deeply religious, Don Julián feared her spirit haunted the island. To appease her vengeful soul, he hung her doll on a tree. This act marked the beginning of a lifelong ritual, one he would never abandon. To keep the girl's spirit content, Don Julián collected dolls that washed up in the Canal Lila and salvaged them from the trash wherever he went. These discarded dolls were hung across the island, no matter how broken they were. Stories say Don Julián was haunted by a girl's whispers, "I want my doll," and by footsteps in the dead of night. While it's unclear what he truly experienced in his hut, deep in the jungle far from civilization, one thing is terrifyingly certain. In 2001, Don Julián was found dead drowned in the same spot where he had discovered the drowned girl and her doll nearly 50 years earlier. The legend of Don Julián Santana Barrera's dolls remains disputed. His relatives think the story was just a way to make his efforts more intriguing. Others believe a girl did drown there and haunted him until his death. Whether the frightening tales are true or not, the island still stands today, filled with dolls in various states of decay. As evidenced by the dirt-covered surfaces and eroding materials, Don Julián never cared to clean or fix the dolls. They've since endured years of weather and continuous wear and tear, adding to the island's eerie atmosphere. He welcomed them as they were, hanging them up with missing eyes or torn limbs. Don Julián also maintained a cabin filled with dolls, dressing them in headdresses, sunglasses, and other accessories. As word of the mysterious island spread, curious visitors began to arrive. Don Julián welcomed them with open arms to his eerie little kingdom. In the last 2 decades, boat tours in Mexico City have started taking visitors to the island of the dolls. While Don Julián saw his collection as beautiful protectors, many tourists find the island bizarre and terrifying. The creepy atmosphere sets in during the boat ride, part of a 4-hour round trip costing $75. The journey begins with a scenic ride through lush greenery and chirping birds, but as lily pads grow thicker, the boat slows down, signaling the island's approach. The ride showcases jungle beauty, from pelicans and kingfishers to egrets and water snakes. But then, the island appears. For professional photographer Cindy Vasco, La Isla de las Muñecas was the creepiest place she ever visited. While the dolls remain the island's main attraction, there's also a small museum featuring newspaper clippings and Barrera's supposed favorite doll, Agustinita. Although the island has become a tourist spot, it all began with Barrera's decision to live alone on a piece of isolated land. Some say that when he died, his spirit joined the others that supposedly haunt La Isla de las Muñecas.